I was in the middle of a meditation session, or at least attempting to meditate, but whilst doing that I was scrolling through channel feed and YouTube analytics, and in my head I was just thinking of saying, I think I may have a different problem. I've been going through productivity check after check once every 3 hours yesterday, and I was telling myself that same thing. Stop scrolling through the feed, stop scrolling through analytics, instead focus on the task at hand. And I've been doing it very often. I just was doing it maybe like no less than 20 minutes ago. I'd in fact say no less than 10 minutes ago. On impulse, I just had the thought, I have problems. But if I were to just say that, then it's like it's an issue. It's like it has connotations that it's bad or something. I've purposefully picked this angle. Right now, you're lodged in between a chair and a cushion, and I've made this because it was just like, oh, I can see the chair here, you know what, let's try it out. And I really like this because it now means that I can just speak my mind freely and I don't have to hold the camera. So yeah, I was 6 minutes into finishing. So I put the phone timer on for 20 minutes to start, but then I still scrolled on the feed anyway. I was seeing one view consistently, which is something I've never seen before. Not consistently. I've seen one view on videos before, even when it was just me. I've seen that before, but not one view after one view video after one view video after one view video. Like, views are coming in consistently now, and I've been believing that since the third video spiked. No, hold up a sec. Yeah. There you go, perfect. Since the third video spiked, that's the meal 1 update saying I'm full, I'm gonna save my food for later. That got 1.3 thousand views, and since that's happened, this channel, I'm not the channel, this channel has got views consistently, video after video. There are some, the odd 1 or 2 videos consistently that don't get views, such as like meal tracking episodes, which is more than fair enough. It's no more than just an image, so I don't mind that. But I do like the fact that I'm now tracking a lot of aspects of my life, because it now means, because I'm doing different, I'm very soon going to obviously receive different, obviously. And I mean that in a wanted way, or in a positive way, you could say, because I'm putting in a lot of effort, and that now means I'm going to reap the reward from that effort sooner or later. Like how the self-improvement YouTubers like Hamza, who first came into mind, trying to use fancy words like instant gratification, whatever, man. It's just fancy words for short-term comfort. I mean, have I made progress in the YouTube addiction that I've made, as in solving it? Yes, I have drastically. I've drastically improved, but I want to improve further. How have I, quote unquote, drastically improved, as I've just said? Well, I'm no longer watching videos anymore mindlessly. If I'm gonna watch a video, it's gonna be with a lot of purpose, and I'm gonna apply it then and there. This goes for every single video except foreign language videos, because right now I'm just behind the scenes. I'm not telling my parents that I'm learning Hausa and Tree to be able to further understand them. I just want to do my thing. I just want to do my thing behind the scenes, so that when I do actually tell them I've been learning for a while, this is what I've learned, then they can obviously tell that I'm actually taking it seriously, and that I do want to become, sorry, not I want my ability in those languages to become fluent, or my level, you could call it, because in foreign languages there are levels to it. So you can be at the very low at A1, or an absolute expert, fluent, top of the top at C2. I've forgotten how how rankings work in the foreign languages department. I think it's like A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and then C1, C2. And as you go up these ranks in the order I've just said them, your abilities are becoming more advanced. But again, going back to the YouTube thing, I've certainly improved via not mindlessly watching videos like Healthy Gamer GG's mental health videos or Therapy in a Nutshell's videos. Those things would just go in one ear and out the other. So I feel very grateful that I'm no longer doing that. Why? Because it means that I'm doing different, and because I'm doing different, I'm now on the way to very obviously receiving different, and actually being able to further grow from this point. I know that the YouTube addiction I created, it had a very insidious impact on my life because I allowed it to. For those that don't know, insidious means it's a negative impact that you don't really see at the start, but it gets increasingly, the negative impact gets increasingly worse at a slow rate. I think that is, I couldn't explain it any better. That's the word I'd use to describe my YouTube addiction that I created, but it's gone. It's gone now partly. As a viewer, I didn't have to think about, let's look at views, and no, I want to stop looking at views and I want to stop looking at analytics, because I wasn't a creator. But now that I create, I now have this. But as you grow, you receive different challenges, not problems or issues, but different challenges that you have to grow through. And if you're not receiving the same challenges, but you're receiving different ones instead, and the old challenges, they're gone, the old opportunities are gone to grow from, they're no longer there because you've already grown from them, and now new challenges have arisen. That means that you've grown as a person, and that you're moving in a direction that you may want, depending on whatever that is. I don't know you. And that is happening for me because I've stopped mindlessly watching video after video. If I'm watching a video on YouTube, again, as I've just said, I'm immediately applying it then and there. For example, one video about how to iron your shirt, I just watched that over and over and over again as I was ironing. Now I don't need that video anymore because I have a very basic understanding of what to do. The second one, how to iron your trousers, I was applying that immediately. Even though that woman, she's a grown-ass woman, that woman had a crazy smile and stare, the way how she was looking at the camera was like, I want to show you how to iron your trousers. It was weird, but damn, 9 minutes? Jeez. It seems like, wow, it really does need to be, I really need to speak about it. It needs to be spoken about. This is something that I need to do in order to move forward. All right, we're set up, ready to go again. Oh, okay. There was a loud amount of background noise, hence I ended the clip to go to this one. But anyway, when I turned off the camera, I was saying to myself, move forward, move forward, move forward. Move forward in what? The answer that I gave to this question was in life in general. This is how I answered it on impulse at first glance, because I believed, like how a girl may talk about sex, one thing would lead to another, in a wanted way. That wasn't meant to be a pun, but hey, there you go. It wasn't meant to be a pun or a punchline again, but your mum and your dad. There's a lot to uncover here, but I think I've created an amazing environment to do this. I mean, I'm lying down. During that serious conversation I had with one of my sisters, this is exactly what it was like. Basically, on her mat, lying down, with the phone just beside me, just allowing myself to speak. And now look at me doing the same thing. The shit works for me, and I'd advise you guys, as you go along the journey, to carry on doing what works for you. Absolutely carry on trying out more different ways. If you want to, go for it, and I'd advise you to do that, because going about things the same way may get boring. Even though you know they work, there absolutely isn't just one way to going about things in life, for sure, regardless of what it is. If someone says something to you, you can respond to it in numerous ways if you allow yourself to think before you speak, depending on what your motives are and how you want to therefore go about the conversation. If you've even thought about what your motives are and what you want to do with these people, or if you're a sick fuck, what you want to do to those people. Not that I'd advise you to think that way, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my hands on these people, I'm gonna fuck these people up and shit. No, I'm not advising anyone to do that. And if people go and do that anyway after listening to what I've just said, I absolutely am not taking any blame, because I'm clearly saying that I do not advocate such behaviour. Very clearly and directly I'm saying I don't advocate such behaviour, to go and speak to people just so that you can go and start fights, or even worse, want to hurt people, like severely injure, or potentially even want to murder these people. No, I clearly, very directly am saying I do not advocate such behaviour, and I do not condone that. But if you're just thinking about what you want to do with these people, like how you want to grow with these people, or what fun time you want to have with these people, mate, it's all up to you. But I think with the way how less than 10 minutes is just passed with me talking about wanting to get over this, I think this is what I've been needed to address for quite a while, because me telling myself I need to stop going through this channel's YouTube analytics to look at views, and more specifically the returning viewers, new viewers graph. I wanted to stop looking at that, and I wanted to stop looking at scrolling through the channel's feed, and I wanted to stop scrolling through the home feed. These are all things that I've been wanting to stop doing for a few days, but maybe therapy in a nutshell was right about it being this hypothesis. The brain doesn't understand the word don't. It doesn't, or it's either that, or the brain doesn't register the word don't or stop or anything like that. Nah, or was it therapy in a nutshell? I think it could have been her, but I'm remembering a man who'd usually go on stage and talk about like productivity and transforming your life. But I don't know what his name is. He could be about like 6'2", white man, American, wearing glasses, dark blonde hair in a fringe. That's usually laid back and short on the sides. Maybe you could call it the middle-aged man equivalent of the fuckboy haircut. I was gonna say calling guys fuckboys is like the equivalent of calling girls bitches. But if you called a guy a fuckboy, what are the odds of that being seen as misingenuous? But if you called a girl a bitch, there's probably a much higher chance that be seen as misogynistic. But if you did the equivalent of that to a man and called him a fuckboy, what are the odds of that being seen as misingenuous? But that is a topic for a whole nother day. The feed. Where do I think this could have come from? Well, at first glance, I thought this could have come from a place where I want to see my efforts pay off, because this channel has never been getting views day in and day out like they are now. This has never happened. Not every single day. And that was even the answer I was giving myself earlier today, maybe no less than an hour ago. Look at the shaven armpits and the shaven face, come on. Yeah, not looking scruffy. Combed hair as well. I can't keep avoiding this topic. Do I actually want to avoid this topic? Do I want to avoid talking about this? I want to say I don't think so. But then I was just beating around the bush just then. Then on impulse, my response to me just saying that was your mum. Your mum. That's what I just said in my mind. Oh. I was gonna say something, but again, that could just be me beating around the bush. It's completely unrelated, so let's carry on focusing. Where could this have come from? I think it could be a case of like one of Healthy Gamer GG's recent video titles it is bouncing from one addiction to the other. I think if there's any two explanations that I could come up with, is a shallow one that I'm going to give now and a more deeper one that I'll give later. So the shallow one, I'd say, is the habit that I made of mindlessly watching YouTube was very strongly built. I built that strongly. There's no such thing as was strongly built. I built that strongly. It didn't just come out of nowhere. I did that from a very, very young age. Ever since maybe like single digits, way back in the day as a prepubescent, when I was watching Dashi XP, Timothy DeLaGhetto, T Pindell, and all of his ghetto skits. Right, so let's get back to it. I was watching a whole of them, of Dash XP's ghetto skits, the Ghetto Doctor, his Mortal Kombat series where he was playing as the voice actor for Raiden, Baraka, where T Pindell collaborated with Dashi, and he in one episode played as Ermac. My bad, I made a mistake. Not Ermac, Rain, where T. Pindell played as Rain. I just remembered in the skit. So in the starting parts, in the starting stages of the video, Rain, who T. Pindell was doing the voice acting for, Rain elbows Ermac in the face, and then Ermac just drops to the floor. So it certainly wasn't Ermac that was doing all that talking. No, it was Rain. T. Pindell played as Rain, which is a Mortal Kombat character. They used looked like Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Trilogy forms of these characters. Raiden, Baraka, Rain, Ermac, and then all of the other sorts of Mortal Kombat characters in the background. For example, Striker comes in the foreground, I think, and it blows up the whole Christmas party. Maybe that's another video, but it doesn't really matter. These are the sort of people I was watching back on the iPhone 3G so long ago. Back 3GS, sorry. It was the 3GS with the black case and the massive Apple logo on the back. It was the one with the curved back. For those that know, they know. I even remember that could have genuinely been the first phone I started watching porn on, because I started watching porn at 12. And then that, like, the topic of pornography and undoing pornography addiction, or at least my suggestions towards undoing the addiction, is a serious video that I actually want to come up with. No, sorry. It's a video that I've made a note that I want to actually do. Here you go, look. Can you see it there? How I undid my porn addiction plus my, my background history with a porn addiction, how I undid it, that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's another serious video that I'm going to make sooner rather than later. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I purposefully won't name names because I'd rather just give the experiences. So it's so it reduces the likelihood of people wanting to go back. People who believe that they have a porn addiction in their mind, reduce the likelihood of them wanting to go back to actually impulsively going on adult sites like Pornhub, Brazzers, RedTube, all of that. Maybe even camgirl sites. Larry Wheels made a video about that, about him making progress in undoing his pornography addiction and spending money on camgirls and that. And well done. Shout out to him for actually letting people know that he was doing that, because he didn't have to say that. If I'm not mistaken, he's a world-class bodybuilder or something along those lines. Looking at that subscriber count, I think he's rather known within the bodybuilding community, especially with that physique. I remember him showing there's a thumbnail of him talking about winning my first bodybuilding competition, so it makes me think that he's a bodybuilder. This video, if I'm not mistaken, it said, there was the thumbnail of him posing on the stage and it said 5 years ago. So he genuinely could be a world-class bodybuilder. I don't really know, but I was going to say I don't know and I don't care, but no, I'm not going to say that. I'm instead going to say, I'm instead going to end the topic by saying, well done to him for saying that. And I think what I want to do is be able to release my own experiences on what it was like for me, what I went through, and just working through like where it could have come from and all of that. I mean, I have no issues with that addiction at all. It's completely gone up. It's been a been there, done that situation for me for years, because I had a very strong desire to no longer want to watch porn. So I, with that very extremely strong desire, I completely stopped. Like literally like the flip of a switch. But I'll get into it in that serious video when it's time. I was gonna actually start after this meditation session. I was gonna film the money video, but this is more important to me because this is something that I've been wanting to work on for. No, let's try that again. This is something that I've been needing, not necessarily wanting, but I've been needing to work on for at least past couple of weeks or so, due to scrolling and seeing analytics, looking at the view growth, the subscriber growth. I mean, the way how you've gone from 6 to 8 has been crazy. The way how this channel has gone from 6 to 8 has been mental. Not I am not the channel. The channel was at 5 subscribers for like 3 weeks, which felt like months on end. But it eventually turned to 6, and it's now starting to pick up. It's starting to speed up, and the sub count is starting to increase. Sure, the sub count is no more than a number, but I'm allowing it to matter to me because it's an indication of how much this community is built. How much, not just I, but how much we have built this community. It's an indication of that, and that's one of the main aims that I want to achieve. Build a worldwide self-improvement community in which people make daily videos which allow them to transform their lives and do what they want to do. Imagine if, it'd be amazing to see more people out themselves as TYL athletes, world-class TYL athletes, transform your life athletes, like the equivalent of what Life XP is/was to Hamza, in the life of a cult follower. Like if there was something like a day in the life of a TYL athlete. And I mean specifically if it comes from someone else. I don't mean me. If there was like a day in the life of a TYL athlete and it came from someone else, and they give credit to where they got that idea from. That would be amazing. But I don't mind not experiencing that for now anyway. I say for now anyway. I'm not entitled to it though. Not entitled to it at all. I'm not entitled to that experience of seeing another content creator say day in the life of a TYL athlete, credit to a planking journey, something like that. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Oh, make that TYL athlete mantra well known, and have like divisions. You know in football, or how like the Americans will call soccer. Football, you know how in football you got Saturday League, Sunday League, Premier League, the Bundesliga. What's the Spanish one? It's like the one you'd see with all of the rainbow on it. and the football in the middle. The one you'd see on like a Barcelona shirt or something. I want to say the initials, the abbreviations LIFA. I don't remember, and I'm certainly not gonna go on FIFA 07 to try and find out on a broken computer or something. No. To then just go on a game to go and escape reality through another way. No. I'm gonna get onto that later. What I've just said, I'm gonna get onto that later. But we need to go back. The shallow reason as to why I think I could be wanting to go through the feed, or reasons actually, is because I want to see my efforts pay off, because I've been doing this for months and the channel is only now, after less than 4 months worth of daily efforts, have been it's started to pay off. And in my eyes it's starting to pay off because I'm seeing that the channel is being viewed, like every video, like after a few hours each video would get a view, and there'd be the odd video here and there, such as like me taking a picture of my meal, where you get no views, which is more than fair enough, because it's literally just a picture which I've made into a video for about 10 seconds, and that's how it is every time within the meal tracking playlist, excluding the MyFitnessPal stats. Those are just images, that's a whole lot of information there. But I think it could be me wanting to bounce from one addiction to another. The first addiction being mindlessly consuming YouTube, and now I've stopped doing that for good. Even after like less than a week, I've stopped doing that for good now. It's like, okay, what is the equivalent of that I can do? Scroll through the feed, scroll through the home feed, scroll through this channel's feed, scroll through the YouTube analytics on YouTube Studio to see returning viewers and new viewers, see the same stats and learn nothing new. After a while, it doesn't get boring. It doesn't actually get boring. It's just something impulsive, and that you just check. Sorry, not you, something I do. I just check. To look at returning viewers and new viewers, and to just constantly remind myself, okay, my efforts are starting to pay off. Like the channel, the videos on the channel, they're starting to be viewed consistently. Day in, day out. Like that's starting to happen. Starting to happen now. I've done a lot and am doing a lot, which is actually a part of what I'm going to get onto later. So it could be that, and now it could be because, again, I want to see the efforts pay off through seeing, oh, one view consistently. Oh. After there being no views for how many months? For like the first 2 months, there was no views. Unless they were just me clicking on the videos. It was so rare people would be looking into the channel, but it's more often now. Ice Cold LCB was there from the Ice Cold LCB was there for us for such an early stage. He was commenting on the channel from a very, very early stage of the journey, way back when I was only filming plank episodes, plank days, so and so episodes. Jeez. Then Money May came in at around like day 43, most likely because I commented on the channel he's running first, and he's now made a second channel. Shout out to him for that, because that move of him making a second channel could be what allows him to actually grow, due to looking at what other people are doing, and like rappers and that. And because people want to know about the rappers, then check to see the views on, to see what's going on with these rappers, and then one of his videos will be there. So it's probably an extremely smart move of him to go and do that, and shout out to him for that. But yeah, I'd say I've stopped mindlessly consuming YouTube now, so I've moved on to doing something else that's very similar. It is different, and it does indicate growth, seeing as I'm doing something different, yeah. But what I'm doing could be on such a high level if I just completely stop scrolling through feeds. And honestly, I think I'm on the way to doing that more than I have been before. Because there was one time yesterday where I questioned myself before going on to looking at analytics on the laptop. Before that point, I'd never questioned myself. I'd just impulsively do it. And the fact that there was a barrier there, even for like a few, maybe like roughly 5 to 10 seconds of me asking myself that question and consciously going on analytics anyway on impulse without much thought. There was a barrier there. In the past, I didn't make that mental barrier. I want there to be a mental barrier because I want to ask myself, hold on a sec, do I actually want to do this? No, I know I rationally don't, because I know that that's very similar to mindlessly consuming YouTube 1. It's the same, it's the same concept, it's the same idea, but just through a different form. You're no longer mindlessly, I've never thought of it until now, I've never thought of it like this until now. Instead of just mindlessly consuming YouTube videos, you're just mindlessly consuming YouTube data. It's no better. And on that note, I'm gonna go get a drink. I think I figured it out. Yeah, it's the same thing, but just in a different form. So what I've got to do is move on from mindlessly consuming in general in every aspect of my life. That's what I've got to do. But I'm gonna still carry on talking about this video because there's a lot more that need to be addressed, in my opinion. Nowhere near finished. Me saying what I just said in the last clip at the very end, just a few seconds ago, in the video from now, just a few seconds ago, from what I'm saying now in the video, I now believe that there's a much different issue. No, sorry, a much bigger issue, which I'll get into in a couple of seconds. But even from clip to clip, this switch you've just seen, I, on 2 occasions, was going to go and mindlessly scroll through the feed, and I did not do this on either occasion. Well done, me. Come on. That's an improvement there already. I think I've now started to understand how major this problem's been and how major I've made this problem. What is this problem? It's now what I said I was going to get into in a couple of seconds. I want to get into it now. In my opinion, the bigger issue is mindless consumption. That's the bigger issue, because that core habit, if I carry on mindlessly scrolling through feed, that core habit of mindless consumption is still there. So the problem isn't completely solved. Or in other words, I haven't completely solved the problem. That's the wording I want to use, because it's me that has to do it. It's not just the problem isn't going to solve itself, or the challenge isn't going to be completed itself. It's not going to complete itself. I need to solve this challenge, not this problem. Sorry, I apologize for my wording there. This challenge. Wording matters in life. Trust me. I have to solve this challenge. Yeah. And there's a bigger core, not problem, as I was thinking of saying in my mind, but there's a core to this habit of me watching YouTube mindlessly, which has now moved from going on to scrolling through the home feed, this channel's videos feed, and YouTube analytics to go see the returning viewers and new viewers graph, which at this point in time, for the sake of documenting history, the new viewers is in a blue colour and returning viewers is in a purple colour. For the sake of documenting history, I don't know what it will be in like the next half year, but that's what it is now. Yeah, so there's that core habit of mindless consumption. That's what it is. And this is what I have to solve. And in order to solve it, I must completely solve it in every aspect of my life and where I'm mindlessly consuming. So that means I have to question everything I see. I have to question everything I do, everything I read, everything I watch. I have to question it. But there's sometimes, like for example, how to iron your shirt. That video that I watched and that I've liked, I consciously followed it blindly. I made that decision consciously to follow it blindly because I was like, okay, let's just see how it goes. If I do follow it blindly, let's just see how it goes. And this time, at least, that actually worked out because I could now iron my shirt fairly well, to a basic level at least, which I couldn't do less than two weeks ago. Cool. All right. I almost impulsively went on YouTube to go and see the channel again for the third time. That habit of mindless consumption, I built it strongly over the years, ever since a child. Ever since I was watching those skits. Maybe it was because it was like, oh my god, stimulation, and it could have come from a place where maybe as a child I wasn't experiencing a healthy amount of stimulation in other aspects in real life, so I go and find stimulation in other areas through more unhealthy means. And in this very specific case, without being implicit here, this was through mindlessly consuming YouTube. That's what it was from a very young age, all the way from maybe when I was about single digits to maybe like 12, back when I had the black iPhone 3GS with the massive Apple logo that was silver, a silver color, and there was only the camera to face forwards. There was no selfie camera on it, from my memory anyway. The front camera, the other one that isn't the selfie camera, that lens was massive. it was like this. Actually, it was like this. It was like that big. The lens was massive. But I genuinely don't remember there being a selfie camera for the iPhone 3GS. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. I might go and find out later, but I feel very happy that grateful that I did this serious video first before going to film the money video, because this is not a problem, as I was just thinking of saying it in my mind, but this has been a reoccurring thing that I've been needing to solve, and I think I've solved it. At least partly, because I now understand that there's bigger, there's something more to it at the core. There's something to it at the core. It's not just me mindlessly scrolling through YouTube analytics and views through the channel's feed. No, it's mindless consumption in general that I must put upon myself to solve. And I've already started. During this video, I've already started by not following through within those impulsive thoughts to want to go on the channel's feed. I've already started. There's no, I'll start today, I'll start tomorrow. No, the start was immediate. I didn't even have to say, I need to start right now. No, the start was immediate. As soon as I've been talking about it, when I pressed the record button to film the first clip of this video, that's when shit started. Wait, from clip to clip, this is now the 4th time that I've now had to question going on to the YouTube channel impulsively. And again, I still didn't go. I didn't go. I went back to filming this video. Maybe this is going on to the YouTube channel after every clip. I don't remember doing this. Going on to YouTube after every clip. No, I wouldn't do this when I film. I just put it out there, and then I'll go and do the mindless consumption later. But now it's like, okay, wake up. This is something we must solve. Now it's like, okay, that's fine, let's solve it. We're solving it now. And then it's like, oh, now because I'm now doing different, I'm now getting different immediately. I'm now thinking different immediately. From clip to clip, from the last clip, I experienced impulsive thoughts of wanting to go onto YouTube. I had impulsive thoughts of wanting to go onto YouTube for a 4th time. But there was a lot of background noise, so you guys aren't gonna get that original reaction. And then the time after that, when I would have experienced impulsive thoughts of wanting to go onto YouTube again, and when I would have made myself go through those thoughts impulsively again because of me doing it so many times in the past. Even though I had that opportunity to have those impulsive thoughts for a 5th time, I didn't. Because it's after a 5th time, my brain is now starting to understand. It's not you scrolling through the feed that's the issue. No, there's something deeper, and it's mindless consumption, full stop. Not mindlessly consuming the data, or mindlessly consuming YouTube videos. No, it's the art. It's mindless. It's the art, if you want to call it that. Mindlessly consuming YouTube. No, sorry, mindlessly consuming. Full stop. I'm so used to saying, oh, mindlessly consuming. I don't want to be doing that anymore. I don't want to be mindlessly consuming YouTube anymore. No, there is something deeper. I don't want to be mindlessly consuming anymore. Forget the mindlessly consuming YouTube part. I don't do that through the videos anymore as I used to in the past. All the way up until recently, I don't do that anymore. I would do and have done today even with looking through the home feed, analytics, the channel's feed, the analytics on YouTube Studio to see returning viewers, new viewers, views, and the whole lot. I apologise for the background noise. It's probably my mum just blending some food. Apologies for that. Oh, look at the biceps. Jeez, look at that. They genuinely could be putting on some major size without me even realising it, day by day, bit by bit, but they are looking different in the camera, boy. Okay, anyway, yeah, so there's that. I don't think there really needs to be much said anymore. I kept on saying, I think there is a deeper issue. It could be that I was mindlessly scrolling through YouTube analytics and all of that, as I've been saying over and over again, because I've been wanting to escape how I've been going about life as what I've been calling a transform your life athlete, TYL athlete. Due to its intensity, there's a lot to do, because I have so many series to run. the productivity checks, the plank journey logs, the new series now I'm uploading, Road to Making Megabucks. I made a whole list of topics, really. Let's read about the weekly reviews as well. Weekly picture reviews, I meant, and also weekly reviews. That I don't know how I'm gonna get onto that, but I made suggestions here. I wrote some thoughts down, and also wrote some thoughts down about serious videos, which I've already made a video on through showing a picture for a minute. But I think I made a suggestion that it could have been because going through life, like running so many series, can be extremely intense. So it could have been me wanting to escape that and have a break. But that break wasn't through constructive means. Like, for example, making another video about something that I want to achieve, or actually allowing myself to have like half an hour off the screens, which is what I'm telling myself I can do after a productivity check. Once every 3 hours, I'll give myself, what I need to do is, or what I want to do from now on is, have the productivity check and then have half an hour completely free off. I'd include the productivity check and time off as a part of the whole 30 minutes, meaning I'd do the productivity check and then I'd only give myself very little time to be off the screens. So giving myself an entire half hour at least every few hours to be able to be off the screens, that's gonna allow me to just ease off the brakes, and instead of being go every single waking hour, all the way to the point where my brain feels so overstimulated at night. It felt overstimulated last night, but yeah, that's something to be quite aware of, and that I, from now on, am showing awareness to, even by writing it down and making a potential idea that could be the reason why. That's showing some awareness. So yeah, you could start and carry on from that point. But I think I've finished making the video now. It's just that there's the deeper thing, the deeper issue, if you want to call it that. The deeper core, the root, there you go. The root of it, there was the root of that destructive habit, that habit I didn't want to do, which was mindless consumption. And I've never thought of it like this until now. So yeah, I've now had a mindset change, a major mindset change. And I think that mindset change, that realization, is now what's going to allow me to actually move on completely from the YouTube addiction that I've created. From the viewer's perspective, which I've now done through no longer mindlessly consuming YouTube videos where I go in one ear and out the other, and I'll just be watching to quote unquote learn, infotainment, and also for a quick laugh. Now watching Apple J's videos, like the year 7 content, like one of his videos on the year 7s on the bus, or chavs on the tube, all of this content to just get a quick laugh and then that'd be it. Nah, I can't be doing that anymore. Instead, go and talk to people in real life and have a laugh in real life, instead of relying on laughter through a screen. That could show that the amount of laughter I get in my life and that I experience, and the amount of fun that I have with people, is lacking. Hence, damn, that's deep. That I've never thought of it until that way. Maybe I'd go and do that because the amount of laughter that I was having and experiencing and having, the amount of fun I was having in life as a teen and as a prepubescent, more so as a teen and during all the way up to the closing stages of my teenhood, going into adulthood now. Yeah, it seems like maybe that aspect of my life, having a lot of fun and laughing around, that was lacking. Hence, I'd go there to go to such videos in the past to be able to have some fun. Maybe during the closing adolescent stages, it would be more like the Sidemen. But now, in the past, I had watched them very often, but I started watching them more inconsistently, and now I don't really watch anyone anymore, not even myself. As in, I don't watch these videos back. Once I've made them, that's it. But I feel happy that I've gone through it, and I think this is the appropriate time to end the video here. So on that note, I'm gone. And if you need notes, like flashcards that you want to make notes on, just like how I have here, the shallow reason why I could have been going through that destructive habit of scrolling through the channel and the home feed and all that. I wrote that down, and I wrote the deep reason down, which is what I just showed you. Doing this has meant that I've allowed myself to be able to further formulate my ideas and make them clearer. Now that I've done that, I've been able to actually get to this deeper realization of, oh shit, it's not necessarily wanting to stop going through the feed and all of that. Maybe there's a deeper issue. Maybe there's a deeper issue to it. I don't want to say deeper issue. It makes it seem like they're unwanted. It's like it's bad, or there are negative connotations to it. No, this is just the reality of things. I just had an impulsive thought of wanting to go on to the YouTube channel for a 5th time now, and it wasn't so I didn't find it so challenging to resist. It was me going back to the camera to carry on filming. It was very quick. The decision to go back was very quick, but this time I found it much easier to just immediately switch and get back to it. I mean, it was easier than the last time. So in the last few times, it seems like on that note that I'm already improving in this aspect of my life after this deeper realization of there being the root of finding out the root of this habit of mindlessly consuming the feed information, like the home feed and all that. Is mindless consumption. That's the root of it. Mindless consumption. And I'd say I'd mindlessly consume YouTube videos, but I wouldn't stop to say, what do all of these words mean? I mindlessly consume. But let's just break it down. I mindlessly consume. Forget the YouTube videos. I mindlessly consume. Maybe that is the deeper issue. And now, or the root of it. And I keep on saying that over and over again. I keep on telling myself the root over and over again. And I didn't even realize it until thinking about it now. But that's why we need these serious videos coming out. And I'd advise all of you guys out there to create such videos, regardless of what you call them. If you make a series for them, if you don't make a series for them, whatever. Regardless of what you do, I'd advise all other creators to actually make such videos like how I'm doing. And if you don't create videos on YouTube, I'd advise you do create videos on YouTube about fears that you want to work through and aims that you want to achieve, and you showing that you're achieving them. Mate, that's going to allow you to completely live a life that you want to live, or at least it has for me. Not necessarily for you, but it has for me, and that therefore is the piece of advice I give, because I know this shit works. But this video, it's about time that it comes to an end. If you make the art of transforming your life a daily habit, your life will transform. Trust me, and I'm just seeing that every single day, bit by bit and piece by piece. I didn't actually think I'd upload a serious video today, but it's been pending. This video has been pending. It's been pending for quite a while, but I feel very happy that I filmed this one before the money journal, even though the money log, Road to Making Megabucks, that may come out before this one, but that's just because of its size, not because I actually filmed it earlier than this one. But on this note, I'm gone. I filmed this from maybe 3 to 5. I'm gonna find out for us. So I pressed play for the first clip at 3:34, and now it's 17 past 5. I said 17 past 7 before turning on the cameras, but no, it's 17 minutes past 5. It's 5:17. So yeah, it's been less than 2 hours, around 20 minutes less than 2 hours of me just filming the clips, and now I've got to export it, edit it, add the transitions and that to spice it up, because that's a way that I wanted to improve this content. So that means I've got to add the transitions, I've got to do everything, and that's so yeah, I'm gonna get to it, mate. The lads and lasses, yeah, this is for the chicks as well. If you want to really improve your life, you can. It doesn't, regardless of your gender, it doesn't really matter. But you'll only find out when you actually make the effort to, by making a daily video series, like how this channel has its daily video series. And I wait for a girl to be actually running such a series. Ivan Juric has his squat everyday series, but I wait for a lady. I wait for a female to actually be running such a similar series, showing that she wants to improve herself instead of it just predominantly being males out here, showing that it's not just a one-sided thing. People full stop want to actually improve their lives regardless of gender. And I think a female creator would actually prove that, regardless of how they feel. I don't know what people think. Oh, shut up. Look, in reality, ladies, you're not known. as if people care enough about your existence to actually give a fuck about what you create, especially when you're starting off. I mean, girls may get more views than guys, especially at the start, because, well, there's the aspect of physical beauty there. Because guys and girls may look and say, "Whoa, she's got fat ass." She's got, not that I would. I mean, have I done this in the past? Yes, I have. But I don't really do that anymore. I mean, now that I understand all of the I'm starting to understand all of the infections girls can get. I oh, and I'm starting to, when I would visualize sexual thoughts in my mind, I don't just think about slipping my dick in anymore. It's, for me, like with the porn video that's going to come out, I actually visualize further. I visualized further in that aspect, because it was like, it was so deep. I visualized the man and the woman having a porn scene in my mind, and with the cameras, with the high production, the team there in the background filming the video with all the different camera angles. I visualized that, and then I visualized the chick going out with one of her female friends sometime later, like a few days later, for example, and I visualized these two girls, the porn star and her friend, that's going through different means. It's like, let's say an accountant, for example. I don't know how they've stayed friends, but let's just say, yeah, they've been lifelong friends. One's a porn star, one's an accountant, and the accountant's just keeping her along because she doesn't want to feel, she doesn't want to feel sad or feel shame that she's letting the porn star go. But let's just say, yeah, these two friends, yeah, they're going for a walk to a coffee shop, and the porn star's talking about taking a hike, and then what happens is, just out of nowhere, mid conversation, she then stops and she holds her crotch because of the burning sensation she's experiencing. Would I want to go on porn again? If I were a porn addict and I visualized that, would I want to go on porn again? No. Not even, probably not, as I was thinking in my mind. No, I wouldn't. Imagine the consequences if you visualize not only the sexual thoughts, but the consequences. And also before that, imagine as a female, you have family dysfunction. There's some fresh pasta, meatball bolognese on the fire, and then you have a massive argument with your parents, and then you leave the house for hours, and then from there, because of what was said in that argument, and you didn't grow from it as a person and be able to forgive yourself and them, the relationship only gets worse and worse. And then from there, she eventually becomes a porn star. If you start visualizing the point, like making thoughts up in your head about how she actually got to being a porn star in the first place, the porn scenes, and then after, the consequences of her like getting major herpes and spots all around her vagina, the bum, and also the mouth. Trust me, I don't think, I mean, I'm not a porn addict to know, but I think people who have allowed themselves to suffer with porn addictions because they've been telling themselves that they have porn addictions in their mind, and they haven't done what it takes to be able to grow from it from a long-term perspective. I bet if they heard what I just said, what are the odds that they'd actually want to stay watching that sort of content on the premise that they thought of it themselves, that they thought of something similar themselves, and or that they heard me say it and they're not mindlessly consuming this content. They're actually questioning what's being said here. Imagine, I don't think I'd want to watch a porn video ever again if I heard that. Yeah, and I wasn't mindlessly consuming. I was actually questioning what the fuck was being said. Oh, no. But on that note, like, I'm talking about something completely different, a completely different serious video. So I want to end it here. Make the art of transforming your life a daily habit, and your life will transform, I'm telling you. My proof of this would be the entirety of this channel. Listen to even how I speak during the early days, like day one. No, not I don't have a day one or a day two to show. Like day 4, for example, and then listen to me speak now. You'll see me get in shape. You'll see my body be in shape, massively in shape by October. Yeah, everything is just all coming together bit by bit, piece by piece, and the same can happen for you if you just made the art of transforming your life a daily habit, and you have an outlet to be able to release such videos every single day, and you give yourself an outlet like YouTube, for example, to be able to actually release the fears that you have in your mind and work through them, and actually work through aims that you set that you want to do to be able to grow as a person and move forward just in life in general. But yeah, I'm gone. Peace. Take care of yourselves, and please make the art of transforming your life a daily habit. Make a series like this, for example. But anyway, yeah, I'm gone. Bye.